the big problem with the Steam frame, and actually the big problem with all VR headsets, is you are not going to please everyone. And it's the biggest issue that comes across time after time after time. Whenever I see a new headset released, you're always going to see someone or a group of people not happy with a VR headset. Now, this is not me. I am really happy with what they've done with the Steam frame. I think some of the elements that they've introduced are just outstanding. This expansion at the front, where you're going to be able to plug basically anything in that you want to, or that someone has made, that you can, expand the device's capabilities. They talk about on one of the videos that I've watched where you're going to be able to plug in color pass-through cameras, which makes it, again, expandable. But no one really ever discusses this. They talk about how it's got problems. Everyone generally has problems. I mean, everyone does it. The Pico 4, when that was released, the face cover was the worst face cover anyone has ever experienced. I didn't have a problem with it. And if I did, I just got a new one, a replacement. Someone had made one, and I put the new one on. And it's the same with the Quest 3. The strap on the Quest 3 is not good enough to start off with. It never is. The Quest 2 wasn't good enough. The Quest 3 and the Quest 3S, certainly none of the straps are good enough. And the spec is never going to be to everybody's taste. Because if you did, the headset would cost like $5,000 or £5,000. It would be ridiculous. And you couldn't fit it all on. And you have to have trade-offs. You cannot have everything that everyone wants on a VR headset. Now, I've seen a lot of people say the FOV isn't quite big enough. And I get it. Look, everyone wants the widest FOV you can ever get. But there has to be a trade-off. You can't expect an FOV of 150. I don't think there's actually a headset that does 150, but you know what I mean. The ridiculousness of that being the biggest complaint that most people make. You have to have trade-offs. Now the other one, the biggie, the one that every VR enthusiast wants, and I'm afraid to say this isn't coming to any headset anytime soon. It's the display part. It's gone. It's dead. None of the companies want to go down this road. I don't know who you want to blame. I don't have a problem with it because the companies are working on solutions that make it wireless, that make it a lot more easier to actually play a game than having wired and restrictiveness. Because this is the other thing. When the PSVR 2 came out, everyone moaned that it had a wire. Everyone. But it was the best way to do it, to keep the cost down and to make sure that it worked well enough with the PlayStation. And everyone moaned about the fact that it had a PlayStation. That you had to... Do you know what I mean? No one is concentrating, or no one seems to be concentrating, or all the negative people seem to be not concentrating on the fact that the Steam frame can not only run PC VR games locally, not only the fact that it can stream PC VR games if you want slightly a better spec or better visuals, but the fact that it's running on an Android processor but can play PC VR titles locally. And it can also play PC titles locally. This is a massive, massive step that no one, and I'm going to talk about it in a different video because I feel like it needs a completely different video and its own video to actually discuss how massive that is. That is a feature that no one, including Meta, no one has been able to do. And I would have that over the trade-off of colour pass-through, for example, which this expandable port sounds like you're going to be able to do that. I mean, people are moaning about, battery size. I've seen that complaint. The actual connector to the main headset is removable, so you can put new straps on with better audio. You can put better batteries on. That is what they're going to do. They're going to expand the thing. This is a base model of what you're going to actually be able to do. I don't know if you can tell, but it really frustrates me when people are sort of negative about something. And I go back to like the Pico 4 Ultra. Everyone was just generally negative about one thing that you could actually change. Like, I don't get it. Maybe if so many people are just glass is half empty rather than a glass is half full. But you've got to think about, if they manage to release this headset for under $700, the thing can run Steam Desktop. It's going to be able to run like some serious stuff from just the headset alone without needing a PC. That in itself is just unbelievable, because no one has done it. I mean, the fact that it's running SteamOS, I don't think people understand how much of an improvement that is going to be. The fact that it's not running Android, it's running its own operating system, and the operating system is working on a mobile processor. That must have taken, like, that's insane on its own. So, the problem with Steam Frame isn't a problem. I don't think there's anything really wrong with this headset that either can't be fixed with a module that connects to the front, so colour pass-through, which in all realistic reasons why I'd suspect they've probably gone for black and white is because it works better in dark lights. And no offense to mixed reality, gaming wise, I think when you're working in VR, mixed reality is fantastic. I think if you're watching movies in VR, it's great. But mixed reality games, no matter what people say, are not the be all and end all of playing VR, and they're almost not catching on as much as what people thought they were going to catch on. I really like mixed reality. I think it's a great use of the headsets, but I don't think it's 100% necessary to have a headset where it's got better trade-offs. And the better trade-off for me is the fact that you're not going to need this. You're not going to need a PC to run PC VR games. Just think about it. Think about that. And please don't comment on this video saying, oh, he's moaning about the Steam Frame without watching the video, because I just had to title it something that would get you to click in. And hopefully that worked. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one, which is going to be about the fact that it's going to be able, Steam Frame is going to be able to run PC VR games locally, and that's just a massive. It's the fact that it's running on a mobile processor. I just don't think people understand. Like the people who are moaning because they haven't got the FOV and they haven't got whatever they wanted, the display port. It's always the display port. It's not happening, guys. I'm really sorry to the people who want display ports, but wireless is probably the future. And if you don't want wireless, you can play it locally. Like, what? Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.